Recently, someone asked me a question about how do you know if you've got a hit song? How does an artist or songwriter know if they've written something that's a hit? And in trying to answer that question, it reminded me of a story that I want to share with you today. This story was told to me by a songwriter who wrote a song that turned out to be a massive smash hit. And yet it almost didn't make it to radio because of the record label not liking the song, not believing in it. So I want to share that with you today. Here we go. One day a few years back, I was sitting in my office, and a songwriter came in. His name was Mentor Williams. Mentor is the brother of Paul Williams. Paul's probably known better than Mentor. Over the span of Paul's career, he was a big songwriter, big artist, and sometimes a big actor. But Mentor is really only known for one major song that he wrote, and it was a song called Drift Away. So Mentor is in the office one day, and he's showing around this picture of a brand new house that he just built in New Mexico. Beautiful home. And I was joking around with him. I said, "So, did Drift Away buy you that house?" And he said, "Actually, the Michael Bolton version of Drift Away bought me this house." And so we started talking about it, and he shared with me the story of how Drift Away came to be and how it almost never saw the light of day. So the story goes back to the early 70s in Nashville. That's where Mentor was living. And he was signed to a publisher called Almo Irving. Almo Irving was also known as Rondor out here in LA. That's where I worked. And then we were purchased by Universal. So this is the story. At the time, Mentor had been hired to produce an album for an artist named Dobie Gray. And he hadn't been super successful at that point with his songs. Now, Mentor was a big fly fisherman. And one Friday afternoon, he was getting ready to leave for the weekend to go fly fishing. He said, "I already had my dog in the truck. I was heading out to go fly fishing." And he said, "I started thinking about it." And he said, I really hadn't had any big hits at that point. And he said, "I started kind of worrying about it and thinking, man, if I don't do something soon, my publisher's going to end the deal." So he puts his dog back in the house. He heads down to the publisher's office where he has a little writer room. And he sat there that Friday evening and he wrote the song Drift Away. And after he finished it, he really thought he had something special. And he thought, I think this would work really well for Dobie. So he takes it in the studio with Dobie Gray. They cut it. He loves it. And as they wrap up the album over the next few weeks, Mentor is confident that of all the songs they've done, Drift Away is the smash hit. So he goes to the A&R rep at the label and he says, "Look, Drift Away, that's the one. You guys have to push that one. It's going to be huge for you." The A&R guy listens to the whole record, and he comes back, and his attitude about Drift Away is completely lackluster. He does not like the song, does not want to release it, and he tells Mentor, he says, "We're not releasing that. We're not releasing that as a single. It's not a great song." And so Mentor is not only kind of devastated, but he realizes this is a moment in his career, He knows he's got a hit. So for the next few weeks, he works this A&R guy trying to convince him that this is the hit, and he cannot get it through to him. So Mentor decides to take this whole issue up the ladder at the record label. He finds an exec there that he can sit down with. He talks to him about the A&R guy. He convinces the record executive that the A&R guy doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know what he's talking about. He's going to destroy this album for Dobie Gray, to which the record executive turns around and fires the A&R guy. Now there's no A&R guy for the record, but Mentor gets his way. They get behind him, and sure enough, when they released it to radio, it was not only a smash hit then, but it just had this incredible enduring quality. It stuck over time. And as I mentioned before, it came back in the 90s when Michael Bolton released it. It was a big hit for him. And then in the 2000s, another artist, Uncle Kracker, releases it. Not only did it endure over time, but it transcended genres because it starts out in the 70s as kind of a country soul song. Then when Michael Bolton does it, it's really more of a pop song. And by the time Uncle Kracker releases it in the 2000s, it's kind of an alt-indie kind of song. And in all cases, it was really a big money-making hit for Mentor Williams. In many ways, he was really kind of a one-hit wonder with that song, but it came back with 3 different artists over 3 decades as a big hit for him. So not too bad. So I guess the moral of the story is, if you've got a song you love, you really believe in, and you've got 1 or 2 people that maybe disagree with you about it, that may not be the end of the world. You may still have something. The truth is, it's just very hard sometimes to determine what a hit is. It can be very subjective between different opinions. I mean, a song can be really designed as a hit song, but the question will always remain until you get it out there, will it resonate with an audience? In the case of Drift Away, clearly it resonated with an audience big time. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell so you'll know when I put out new videos. And until next time.